Okay, this video is support for the corner bracket drawing, or drawing number 11A015 from your workbook. This is what I want you to do on your own. I do want to provide you with a, well, there's one error in the drawing in the workbook, so I want to bring that to your attention. But this sounds kind of simplistic, but all the information you need is given in the views in the workbook. Okay, and is, for example, if you're looking for a dimension or to calculate a dimension in this view, both dimensions that you need might not necessarily be in this view. In other words, you might need a dimension from this view and this view to be able to calculate the dimension in this view. So don't get hung up on looking in one particular view for all the information you need, because the drawings are getting more complex and you might have to look in different places. Also, always be aware that for several of these, not just in this particular exercise, but other exercises, you might need to calculate the radius. Okay, you're often given the diameter of the hole, but you don't have the radius. So remember, the radius is half the diameter. Now the error this in here is actually they give you a 1.42 dimension in the workbook in the top view, and its dimension from this line to that line is where the 1.42 dimension is given. But actually 1.42 should be the distance from here to the center of that hole. Okay, so that should be your 1.42. And actually the way I was able to figure that out, you're given a dimension for the bottom of the front view at 2.24, and then you're also given a dimension for that line as 0.51. Well, if you take 0.51 and subtract it from 2.24, you get 1.73. Okay, and that was what the extension lines were actually pointing to the edge, to that line and that line. Okay, so if that were correct and they were giving you that dimension, it should have been 1.73 instead of 1.42. But what I figured out is actually the extension line here on the left is correct, and the extension line on the right should terminate, it should coincide with the center mark of the hole there. Okay, so that is 1.42. And that's the error that I wanted to bring to your attention. But you know, this exercise is intended to be done mathematically. In other words, you can figure out all the dimensions mathematically. Worst case scenario, you can draw it, and that will help you to come up with a couple of dimensions in case you were maybe hung up on something. Now the workbook drawing is not drawn to scale, so you won't actually be able to use a ruler and measure and get the correct answer. I would rather you do it mathematically rather than graphically, but again, if you get hung up on something, you can try to draw it. You'll still have to do some calculations for some of the dimensions, but I think drawing it may actually reveal some dimensions. Okay, so just be careful. All the answers in Angel are correct. I've already been through it a couple of times, and all the answers that are in Angel are correct. So if you don't come up with the right answer, you need to go back and rework the ones that you got wrong. Okay, so that's all I have to say about this exercise, and good luck, and that concludes this video.